This is a gathering of leaders of the Obidient movement from all the 6 states of Nigeria's northeast region.
To open up this particular banner as the new logo of the Obidient movement.
First, they unveil a new logo, what they believe embodies the political philosophies of the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
The group makes a demand on the fundamental rights of Nigerians.
Every corner of this country, the Obidient movement is being felt. And that only does not stop here, meaning that we want to reach all part of the world to send our message that Nigeria demands, we are not requesting. Nigeria demands for good governance, build around health care, security, economic well-being, pulling people out of poverty, providing education for our teeming population. These are the messages of Peter Obi.
The movement also laments the state of the Nigerian economy and discussed how to tackle vote buying by the political class.
Because if you look at during the election, we collect 2,000, 4,000 nairas for all the 4 years tenure, without knowing that this 4,000 is belong to us, and even them are supposed to serve the citizen, not be serving them. If you look at it, it's turned against the citizen of Nigeria.
The group continues to hold firmly to the conviction that the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has what it takes to fix Nigeria's woes.
We masses, the people in Nigeria, we need great person like Peter Obi to come rescue Nigerians in that critical condition. We know Peter Obi is capable because we know him. He's a governor 2 times in Nigeria. Peter Obi has worked in his state very well. And Peter Obi, he don't have any tribalism, no religious sentiment, is capable to help in Nigeria in that critical condition.
The group is promising to embark on massive enlightenment to mobilize Nigerians to reject the present political culture in the country.
The Obidient movement is not necessarily an organized body or a formal organization, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Many times I have observed that people completely misunderstand what the Obidient movement really is. They approach it as if it is a structured association, like a club, a trade union, a youth group, or some kind of pressure organization. Yes, we all know that we have a body called the Obidient movement with a leadership structure, executives, committees, and all the rest. That is true. But my point is very simple. The real Obidient movement is far bigger, far wider, and far more organic than any organized body bearing that name. And that is one major point people miss over and over again. The Obidient movement is not defined by titles, positions, meetings, or organizational registers. It is defined by the millions of everyday Nigerians who desperately want a better country. It is a movement of ordinary citizens, young people, older people, artisans, professionals, tech workers, teachers, traders, civil servants, students, market women, drivers, bankers, housewives, retirees, just ordinary Nigerians going about their normal daily lives. These people want a Nigeria that works. They want a Nigeria where competence matters, where integrity matters, where accountability matters. And they believe, based on what they have seen, that such a Nigeria is possible under the leadership of Mr. Peter Obi. Now here is the interesting part. The overwhelming majority of these people will never join any organized group. They are not members of the formal Obidient movement organization. They don't attend meetings. They don't hold positions. They don't even want to belong to any political structure. Yet many of them are even more committed, more consistent, and more obedient in spirit and action than some of the people inside the structured organization. That is the irony, and that is what makes the movement unique. It is not powered by hierarchy, it is powered by conviction. Some Obedients are in the APC, some are in the PDP, some are in LP, some are in smaller parties, and millions more are completely apolitical. They don't see themselves as members of any political party. In their minds, Peter Obi himself is their political party. His ideals, his discipline, his simplicity, his vision for Nigeria, those things are what they align with. Many of these people may never carry a party card, they may never join the organized movement, but they will go to any length within the law to ensure that Peter Obi succeeds. That is how committed, how passionate, and sometimes how fanatical they are about having a better Nigeria through Peter Obi. This is why it is very shallow and honestly very laughable when people judge the strength of the Obidient movement based on what happens inside the organized body. When someone who holds a position in the formal group resigns, you suddenly hear people shouting that the movement is collapsing, the movement is in shambles, or the movement is divided. These conclusions are not only wrong, they are delusional. They reveal a complete misunderstanding of what the movement really is. A resignation inside a small structured group has absolutely nothing to do with the millions of Nigerians who carry the movement in their hearts, not on membership lists. You cannot measure a river by looking at a cup of water taken from it. In the same way, you cannot measure the Obidient movement by looking at a handful of individuals inside an organization. The organized body is just a fraction, a tiny fragment. The real movement is on the streets, online, in schools, in workplaces, in markets, in buses, in offices, in communities. It is the Nigerian spirit refusing to give up. And if you really want to see the true power of the Obidient movement, just wait. If Peter Obi gets the presidential ticket of ADC or any other party, many people will be shocked. They will suddenly realize that the Obidient movement did not disappear after the 2023 election. In fact, it has grown, it has multiplied, it has become even stronger. The hunger for a better Nigeria has only intensified. People are even more determined now than they were in 2023. The truth is this: the Obidient movement is an idea, not an organization. It is a collective desire for good governance, transparency, competence, and national progress. It is not owned by anybody. It is not controlled by anybody. It does not rise or fall because of boardroom politics. It lives in the minds and hearts of millions of Nigerians. And as long as Nigerians want a better country, the movement will keep expanding. That is the real power of the Obidient movement,